Sound It Out Phonics brings you CK spelling. Learn to spell CK words and write simple sentences. Brought to you by Lilibet's Resources. There are 5 very important letters in our alphabet, and here they are. We call these letters vowels. We need to know both the name of each vowel and the sound for which each letter stands for. We will need them to spell every word. Let's say their name and their sound now. A says A, E says E, I says I, O says O, and U says A. If you don't know these, then please do practice them every day. They are absolutely vital for you to be a good speller. When C and K are together, they make one sound, K. Now we don't usually see them just on their own. We usually see them with a vowel in front of them, like this. Here we have ak, ak, ek, ek, ik, ik, ok, ok, and ak, 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 ek, ik, ok, and ak. When you hear those sounds, then you use CK to spell a word. If you do not hear those sounds, you do not use CK. It's as simple as that. So you need to get used to hearing ak, ek, ik, ok, ak. Here's something else for you to practice every day. Don't just keep it for the week you're learning the CK words. Do it every day. Then you won't forget that when you hear the sound ak, ek, ik, ok, or uk, you need to use CK. And if you're ever confused and you think, do I need CK on this word? Look at your chart and say to yourself, can I hear ak, ek, ik, ok, or uk? If your answer is yes, then use CK. And if your answer is no, then don't use CK. It will either be a C or a K on its own. Don't worry, you're going to get plenty of practice. Let's do some practice. I'm going to say a word and then we're going to think about how we're going to write it. So, my first word is sack, sack. And I listen. I hear s and ak. Or, if you prefer, I hear s-a-k. But either way, I hear ak. That tells me ak, ek, ik, ok, uk. I need CK. And so I start with s. And then I write my word, ak, s, ak. Okay, there we have it. CK on the end. Here's my next word. I haven't got a picture for it. Listen carefully. Pack. I pack my bag, or I pack my suitcase. Pack. So I hear the first sound and I write it down. There we go. P. What do I hear next? Pack, p, ak. Ak, ek, ik, ok, uk. I need CK. P, ak, pack. Listen to this one. Neck, neck. Now what can I hear in this one? Use your ears. Neck, n, ek. I hear ek. So I think neck. Which one of these can I hear in the word neck? Ak, ek, ik, ok, or uk? Well, that's simple. Of course, I can hear the sound ek. Let's write it then. We hear the sound n to begin with. N, ek. And so we finish the word. Ek, n, ek, neck. We heard ek, ak, ek, ik, ok, ak. We needed ck. And here's our next word, lick. Lick. Tell me which of these you can hear in the word lick. Is it ak, ek, ik, ok, or ak? Lick. Of course, it's ick. And so now we can write our word. We write our l to begin with, and then ick to finish. Do we need ck? Yes, of course we do, because we hear the sound ick, ak, ek, ik, ok, ak. We need ck. Our next word, pick. It rhymes with lick. That helps us to know we're going to need ick, pick, lick. Pick begins with p, so we write that first. P, ick. Here we have it. P, ick. Do we need ck? Yes, because we heard ick. Ak, ek, ik, ok, ak. That's a ck. What about this one? What words can we think of that have the sound ok in them? Can you think of anything? What about this one? Sock. Sock. You can have a go at writing this for yourself. See if you can write it before I get there, and then you can check to see if you're correct. Sock. S to begin with. What do I hear next? S, ok. And there it is. Now, tell your parent why you needed to use ck to spell the word sock. There's no tricks here, by the way. I'm not being funny. It's just to help you to put it into your head clearly so that you understand. That's right. It's because ak, ek, ik, ok, ak. When we hear those sounds, we must use ck. Do lock for me. Can you write the word lock? Yes, it begins with l. What do you hear next? Ok. So we add in ok. Do we need ck? Yes, ok. Ak, ek, ik, ok, ak. You're going to be fed up with me saying that by the end, but hopefully it will help you to remember when to use ck. What about uck? Can you think of any words with uck in them? What about duck? Spell duck for me. Okay, so we've got d for duck, and then we hear d, uck. We hear uck, and we remember we need ck, ake, kikok, uck, and so we have d, uck, duck. Find a piece of paper and a pencil if you haven't got one already. I'm going to read you a little passage. I'm going to say each word twice, and I want you to write what you hear down on your piece of paper. Of course, you don't have to write every word twice, you only write it once. This is what we're going to write. Jack has a sack on his back. He will sit on a rock. All right, so I'll read it one word at a time, and I will say each word twice. Here we go. Are you ready to begin? Jack, Jack. Has a sack on his his back, back. He will sit on a rock. What I want you to do now is first of all to read what you have written, sound out each word and make sure that you have spelled it correctly. Okay, pause the video if you need more time. When you are sure that you've spelt everything correctly, now I want you to read it again and check that you've put the full stops in the right place. Remember that each sentence must be a complete thought. It must make sense. It mustn't leave you feeling that somebody's forgotten to say something. All right? I'll give you a clue. You've got 2 sentences here. So you'll need 2 full stops. I'll help you in a minute if you're not sure. You can check your work. Okay, let's have a look at it together. We begin with a capital J. Why? Well, there are 2 reasons. We're writing the word Jack, and Jack is a name, and all names begin with a capital letter. The second reason is that Jack is the first word of our new sentence. We always begin writing with a capital letter. And the J is the first letter of our word Jack. And the first letter of a new sentence is always a capital letter. And so we write J-ack, Jack, akekikokak, and so I need CK. Jack has a sack, S for sack, and finish the word sack with ack, akekikokak, we need CK. Can I put a full stop there? Jack has a sack. I could, if that was all I was going to say and there was no more, because that is a complete thought. But if I look at what we've actually written, what we want to say, we'll see that we go on. Jack has a sack on his back. If I put a full stop after sack, then on his back will have to be the beginning of another sentence. On his back he will sit. That doesn't make sense, does it? So no, I can't put one here now because there's more to come, which tells me I haven't finished yet. On his back, B for back, and then of course again we can hear ack, so akekikokak, we need CK. So now we read what we've written. Jack has a sack on his back. That's better. I can stop there. Jack has a sack on his back. I've written a complete thought. So there's the full stop on the end. And now I get ready for my next sentence. And I think full stop. After a full stop must come a capital letter. So I get ready for the next letter that I write to be a capital one. Capital H, he will sit on a. Can I stop there? He will sit on a. Finish. Can I finish there? No, we want to know what he's going to sit on. What might it be? Put them out of their misery. He will sit on a. We want the word rock, so obviously it begins with r, and then we listen, r, ok. Ok, akekikokak. Do we need CK? Yes, of course we do. It follows the rules, ak, ek, ik, ok, uk. Now, we listen again. He will sit on a rock. Do I have a complete thought now? Yes, I do. And so therefore we put our full stop to show now that we've actually finished all that we're going to say, because we've finished our writing for today. So let's pop the full stop on the end there. Let's just finish with a little exercise for you. I want you to pretend that you are the teacher. Here is some writing that a child has done and given to his teacher to mark, and you're going to mark it. I want you to look first of all to see whether the child has spelt all the words correctly. Write what you can see down on your piece of paper and put right anything that you think is wrong. All right, let's edit it together, shall we? So we've got Jack, J-ack. Is that the correct spelling of Jack? We heard ack, and we've only got a C. What else should we have? I hope you remembered that ack means we need CK. So we needed to put a K on the end of Jack. Jack is, what's this word supposed to be? Stuck. Ah, stuck. What's wrong with that word? Can you see? If I say stuck, stuck, it does sound a bit like a D, doesn't it? Stuck. But we know that we never have st in the English language. It's rather a difficult sound to make, zd. So we don't have D's next to S's. We always have T. So that should have been a T. Stuck. All right. Jack is stuck in the mud. He has muck on his sock. Sock doesn't quite look right to me. Do you agree? Ok, ak, ek, ik, ok. Ooh, what's missing? You should have a C in there. CK. Okay, now we need to put some full stops in because, well, what do you think? What have we got? Let's read what he's written and see if it makes sense. Because full stops are for the right reader to know where the writer wanted them to stop to make sense of what the writer had written. They're there for a reason. Jack is stuck. Jack is stuck. Well, that could be a sentence, but not when we see what's coming next. Because if we read what is written here, Jack is stuck, full stop. In the mud, he has muck on his sock. Let me say that again and you listen. Does it make sense? In the mud, he has muck on his sock. Ooh, no. Something's wrong with that. That's not how we talk. Let's have a little think. Jack is stuck in the mud. Now we've said something. Let's put a nice full stop there. I'm going to make mine a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Jack is stuck, I'm going to cross that one out, in the mud, full stop. After a full stop, what do we have? A capital letter, so that should have been a capital H. He has muck on his sock. There's the end of my second complete thought. Jack is stuck in the mud, full stop. He has muck on his sock, full stop. It can be sometimes rather difficult to know where to put a full stop, and it can seem rather confusing. But just remember, it's there to tell you when you've written a complete thought, or when the writer has written a complete thought, where you can stop and your writing will make sense. And if you're not sure, then read what you've written and see if it makes sense, if you stop at the full stop. Well, I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thank you for listening, and I'm hoping that I'm helping you to make your writing and your spelling very good. I'm sure it will be. Maybe I'll see you again another day. Goodbye for now.